Y'all here? Mm-hmm. All right, people. Somebody's here. I can't see your comments yet, but hi, Tiffany Davis. Thanks for confirming that you're here. Sharon Morrison, Blue Skies. How y'all doing? Hi, Nikki with the eye patch blue. Divine Designs by Angie, Cheryl Burnett, Natitia, Randy Pooch. Hi, Alfreda Gross. Hi, everybody. Hi, you, Erica J. and Pixel King. Lord, I suppose there's more than one story left in this Kevin Samuels saga. It all began on yesterday. People started reporting that Kevin Samuels was dead. It was first reported on Twitter. I personally did not initially believe it because no reputable people were reporting on it, right? But it was still spreading like wildfire. I guess he got his final statement to the world was going viral, and he has gone viral, taking over Twitter for a day or two, YouTube, Facebook, everything. So it's been confirmed now that Kevin Samuels passed away at 56 years old, right? Now, I don't know what people think about, oh, you shouldn't speak eagerly of the dead. Kevin Samuels is a commentator, right? He commentates on what goes on here about other people. We're talking about him. As simple as that, honey. I'll have to wonder what creates a Kevin Samuels. I know that the Tommy Sotomayor had a great influence over him, but why was that man so obsessed with women's weight, them overvaluing themselves? Why was he so angry with all these women? While appearing to be a homosexual man. We'll just say that. We're just talking here, people. If his family members are on here, then just click off. You ain't gotta listen to all this shit. But I'm gonna talk about your brother or cousin or whoever he was. And I have to be curious about what makes it Kevin Samuels. It couldn't just be him copying Tommy Sotomayor or refining the rhetoric of Tommy Sotomayor about Tommy Sotomayor was basically wigs and hair, and now this fool his thing was fatness. He just couldn't take the fatness. My guess, Kevin Samuels, out of his own mouth, says he was raised in the projects, right? I spent a lot of time in the projects myself, right? The primary issue that will qualify you to live in public housing is that there is no male in the house, right? So the projects were overrun with single mothers, which means he was raised in the projects. He continuously was qualified to live in the projects. He was probably raised around a whole bunch of angry women, right? A lot of these women have been scorned by some of these high value, no, these would be low value African American men, right? So a boy sitting up under that, he would be a boy sitting up under all of these women angry at black men, I would think. I remember the conversations. I used to go in my mother's room was right next to my room, so I would put a glass on my ear and I would listen to what she was talking about. And there's always the ladies would get on there and read these motherfuckers new assholes, girl. So my guess is Kevin Samuels is angry. He's a confused person about his own sexuality because no matter what he says out of his mouth, and even though he was discovered with a woman laying on top of him, I believe Kevin Samuels has struggled with his sexuality his entire life, right? Now, he may have intellectually chosen to be heterosexual, but everything about him said homosexual, right? And so this is the same kind of thing you saw with Little Richard, honey. Little Richard, 86 years old, trying to deny his homosexuality. You are what you are. You can fight against it all your life you want to. But he goes to go over there with these women He'd draw this woman audience, talk nothing but women, about women, right? And putting up men like they were the opposing team. He probably felt very bad because he was a male in a house full of women. Now, they say these serial killers, they're killing either a woman who had influenced their life early on or their own actual mothers. They're just killing them over and over and over again, right? And I kind of think that's what's going on with Kevin Samuels. He's very angry at somebody. But he's dead, so we're going to let some of that talk rest for the moment. We'll give it a grace period. There are a couple of things I'm hoping will come out of this story. First of all, if some of the rumors are true and he actually died from cocaine laced with fentanyl, we need to know about that. All these people who watch him, this 1.4 million people, need to know what's out there. That they can think they're sniffing cocaine, and that cocaine in these modern times can be laced with fentanyl. Fentanyl will kill you. It's all over the news. So we need to know that. That's something we'll have to wait for the autopsy report to find out exactly what he died of. 56 is a pretty young age to die of a heart attack, right? Now, we know it happens. Everybody knows it happens. But was this Viagra? Some people say that it's something to do with energy drinks. I hope not, because I drink energy drinks, and I'm older than him by quite a bit, actually. Anyway, some things we need to know, because it may help other people to avoid these street drugs, right? Certainly to test them, see if they're laced with fentanyl. The government is fighting this battle against fentanyl, but so far they're not winning. This is the thing they're cutting all kinds of drugs with now. Why they have to cut it with something like that? Don't ask me, honey. I've been out the game too long. High value men. See, I called him in my thumbnail the king of superficial, because the things that he was talking about, they're extremely superficial. First of all, youth is fleeting, right? So he always worried about how much people weigh and what their waistline is and all that kind of stuff. Baby, all that is subject to change. As people get older, their bodies are going to change. Those titties that were perky will now be described as sagging. It is the natural order. I'm sorry. So he wants everybody to be married. He feels like a woman's purpose on this planet is to be married, right? And he wants to discourage them. If they got anything extra on their thighs, that they'll never get married. Nobody wants them, honey. And if they're 35 years old, they passed their prime and they're just leftovers. He has to say this every day. Why that would be interesting to hear every single day, like a mantra. I'm too fat. I'm too ugly. Nobody wants me. Baby, looks are fleeting and it's very superficial. If you're going to be laid up with somebody for the next 40 or 50 years, I would think you will be more concerned about the content of the person's character, not because just zeros. How much money he make? How much money he gonna be making in 10 years, nigga? You don't know. Does they have a sense of humor? Can they make you laugh? Do they enjoy your children? I mean, are they happy that you have children, or are they only see them as a burden? He said a woman got any children, that means that eliminates her. Don't nobody want to raise your kids. Well, that's how you feel, Kevin Samuel. Some people actually like kids, believe it or not. When he says that he is an image consultant, he's talking about what kind of perfume you wear, cologne. He learned that in the department stores. What kind of cologne you wear? You a high quality man, and you want to wear this suit and wear this. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's superficial bullshit. Don't nobody need no man should need Kevin, or should have needed Kevin Samuels to tell him to wash his ass, to keep his grooming together, and to go to the barbershop when necessary. I don't think you need an image consultant to do that. That image consultant is there to sell you things. That's why she always seemed to have when DJ Envy came after him, said, I saw him at a department store pushing his wares outside of Hermes. He came out with all the boxes, all the Hermes he had, and all the little boxes of bracelets. He had a bracelet in every different color. He had all the perfumes. He had all the. How does that affect the quality of a man? We all buy shit. If you making $30,000 a year, you go to Old Navy and buy you some shirts like this, right? If you're making 100,000, depending on where you live, girl, then you dress a little better. If you are a rich person, then you go in the store and just buy whatever you want. It ain't all that, child. It's all so superficial. It don't mean shit. Because a man collects 200 pairs of shoes, there's no reflection on who that person is. Is that a good person? Will that man get mad at me and hit me in my goddamn mouth? Right? Judge a person by the content of the character, because their looks are fading. Do you really want to marry some woman based purely on the size of her titties? Purely on the size of her titties and her thighs, right? What happens in 10 years? Does the marriage fall apart? If it was based on something so shallow as the size of her titties, does the marriage fall apart? Is this why these women going here getting all this plastic surgery? You go to Beverly Hills, they look like chipmunks with these big ass cheeks and all this shit, trying to retain their youth, because it's all about how you look. This is what I mean about the person being the king of the superficial. Because you bought a bracelet does not make you a better person. Because you have acquired the ability by listening to Kevin Samuels or what kind of tie to pick out to go with a suit. I mean, how people, be realistic. How much has a man's suit really changed since the 1920s? If you look at old movies, it ain't changed that much, girl. So he's telling you what direction the stripes are supposed to be on the tie. Is that it? Is that the image consultant? Is that worthy of making an income from saying that, girl? It's ridiculous to me. Anyway, I know a lot of people are, I don't know who the hell is happy about that, though. So who was the audience? Y'all know? Was it all women? Or were men actually enjoying this shit? Because as far as men go, I'll speak on that for a minute, too. Kevin Samuels is not a fit for straight men. Most straight men do not act like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels acts like a gay man. His values are that of a gay man, right? So it could be, since he wants so desperately to be straight and heterosexual, he could be that he wants to fit in with that crowd. So the best way to get to that crowd is to talk to these men who are angry about child support, who are angry about what they feel to be the emasculation of their masculinity. It could be that's where he's going to fit in. So I've seen him on interviews, and it's all straight men at the table, right? And the only thing they have in common with him is his disdain for the black woman, right? That's the only place they relate. But I don't know a whole lot of straight men want to go over there taking advice from Kevin Samuels. So are the audience all women? I don't know. Let me let y'all talk. I ain't been around a whole lot. I've been around a lot of rough straight men, prison types, but I don't know a whole lot of regular straight men, right? I know a whole lot of gay men, though, and Kevin Samuels fit right in. Now, y'all say, oh, you can't speak of, he's no longer here. He's no longer here. You can't speak ill of the dead. Kevin Samuels, you are in death what you were in life, right? Nothing changed. Nothing at all has changed, honey. You were just the same person in death that you were when you were here. And they will speak to you the same way when you were here. When they speak of Hitler or somebody, girl, they speak about the evil motherfuckers they were on Earth, girl, and they continue to. That's what you left here. That's what you left us with. This is your legacy. It is what it is, honey. If you are a family member or a loved one of Samuel, my suggestion would be don't look, because it's not going to be all good, because he didn't leave it all good here. Didn't care. He didn't care about people. He didn't care about hurting people's feelings. I mean, how are you going to tell somebody who has the desire to be in a relationship, you continually badgering them over the head and telling them they're not worthy of a relationship? Their time has passed. They are leftovers. I mean, what do you do with that, girl? Do you go out and turn back the hands of time, or you start putting that shit all in your face? Whatever. Hi, Cheryl Burnett. The TTI. See what's going on here. Do y'all have any views on this subject? You know, they'll give it a couple of days where they feel like they've been better people, but not talking about it immediately. But I mean, you are a social media giant. How in the hell social media ain't gonna talk about it? You are the topic of conversation. You were number one on Twitter yesterday. I don't know if you are today. You have tens of people talking about you today on here, and that's just what it is, honey. But now you'll get to be able to actually say something without being beaten over the head by Kevin Samuels. It's one less figure you have on here demeaning you. I don't know why you're supposed to be sad and crying about that. Yes, you still have Tommy Sotomayor, and I guess all his haters got to go back over to Tommy Sotomayor now because they don't have their leader, Kevin Samuels. I don't know what kind of straight man is following behind on Kevin Samuels. I still can't see it, honey. It is what it is. Uncle Tim, stop talking about the dead. Well, how are we going to do that? I ain't going to talk about a whole lot. I mean, the toxicology is going to tell the story. No, you can't raise hell like that. What's your name, Zion or a lion? You can't raise hell like that the whole time you're on earth, collect millions of dollars, girl, and think ain't nobody going to say nothing about you. I don't believe it. When I leave here, the same people who like me here are going to like me when I'm gone. The same people who hated me here, they're going to hate me when I'm gone. It's just what it is, honey. Fortunately, you dead. You ain't got to see it. We assume. We assume. He's probably angry from somebody. Maybe he felt like they were always, the women that he was raised by were always dogging out men. And that's what he was, right? But I mean, you got to accept Kevin Samuels and people like him. These people who you have such resentment against, these are the people who fed you and clothed you and stayed there with the family and paid the rent and got whatever help they could get for your black ass, right? And that's the one you angry with. You're not angry with the one who dropped a nut and took off for parts unknown. No, it ain't his fault. You're so busy trying to defend your own masculinity, child, because you're resentful. It's too bad that he couldn't have spent the time here getting better or getting, I mean, obviously there's no wellness now. Damn thing is over with. You talked about all these women, how fat their ass was, and then you're the one that died at 56. So obviously it's not all about weight, is it? I'm just saying, we won't know until the toxicology comes back. But was this boy actually playing around with cocaine or fentanyl? A lot of people who get caught up with fentanyl don't know they're taking fentanyl, though. Right? The drugs that they're taking has been cut with that. I guess that expands the size of the amount of drugs they can use. I mean, the dealers, by putting fentanyl, they can expand the size. I don't know how it makes the size bigger, though. But that's what you're selling. You're selling a certain amount for a certain price kind of thing. But for some reason or other, there's an epidemic of people cutting drugs, various kinds of drugs, with fentanyl. It is deadly. That would explain a whole lot if you're 56 years old. Now, he ain't the first person who has died of a heart attack at 56 years old. Even when you go to your doctor, they'll say they want to know if you are healthy enough to have sex, right? So apparently that can be deadly as well. Now these people are mixing all this other shit, these blue pills and energy drinks and all this kind of stuff. We don't know how harmful that is. That's why we need to know why he died, what killed him, because then we can move forward and maybe not die from the exact same causes. Because people will pay attention because he has some celebrity in social media. Social media is getting to be bigger than regular media, in my opinion. They say overdose allegedly. Yeah, Blue Skies, everything's allegedly for the moment. We don't know what it was, but we don't want to be doing it, whatever it was. His mama says she found out on social media. Well, Well, social media moves so damn fast because apparently social media, Twitter, was a buzz right after it happened, right? So there's not that they're going to freeze social media to make sure they call his mother. It's not like that. Perhaps it's like that in regular media where they wouldn't broadcast right away until they had confirmed and notified the family. Police won't talk about it till they've notified the family, kind of thing. But if social media has got the story immediately and it's blasted all over the United States, girl, they say it was #1 on Twitter. So they knew before we did. When I talked about the story yesterday, I still was not convinced that it wasn't a hoax. But it did nothing to explain why wouldn't he just say I'm not dead, or why wouldn't he come forward? Well, the answer is he didn't come forward and deny it because he was really dead. Okay. Angry at black women. It's been rumored for a long time that those calls, though, many of them were bullshit. They were fake. They were called in so he and say things that they know he was going to demean them for, and then he would respond to that. But if the calls were fake and his women were on his payroll and just called in to deliberately be insulted to give him a show, then that might make some sense. Because otherwise, I don't know why a woman want to go in there just to be insulted. There's other stations you can go on if you just want to be on YouTube, honey. So I'm not sure what the audience is. We know he had a big audience, 1.4 million. Was that mostly women? Y'all know. Same mystery applies to Tommy Sotomayor. Now he won't say it, but he's probably happy about it because it's going to bring those numbers back to him. They need an outlet. The means is just need an outlet to hate on these women, right? Why no other race talk about their women but black men? They're angry. They're angry. Blue skies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, black folks do all kind of stuff. We talk about this colorism stuff. Who's the darkest? Who's the lightest? And all that. We've been convinced that lighter is better, right? But if you look at white people, they ain't the same color. They're not. They're not even from the same countries or the same parts of the world. What's that? They're English, they're Italians. Italians are darker. They're all kind of different races. They come over here in America, now they're white. But they all different kind of colors. Some of them got red hair. Some of them got blonde, light features. Some of them got freckles across the bridge of their nose, girl. No, they don't talk about who's the lightest, who the darkest. I mean, they have their own prejudice. I guess they hate Jews still, the racist ones. But there's all kind of different colors of people who are white people. But no. We're the ones, honey. And it looks like that woman who they're putting the picture up with him, she don't look black. So he has a problem with black women. And it probably, if a shrink could get a hold to him, it would probably stem all the way back to his parentage, to his mom, who paid all the bills and she did all the things she had to do, but she was probably a hurt woman. Right? And maybe he resented that. I don't know. I think a little bit more of this story will come out. We all going to want to know what he died from or how he died. But after that, I don't know that this story has any wings. Not for me. I always believed the man was a homosexual. I would love to have that conversation with him. But he always denied it. I think he was fighting against it his whole life. And he felt like he could get in good with the means and be one of the boys, finally. Because he said he'd been called a sissy since he was in grade school. So he could finally find something to have in common with the men while they would respect him. Right? Because he took this stance to defend them against what they're considering the adversary, the black woman. Mm-hmm. And then this woman he was in the bed with, was that one his wife, was it? I thought he was so concerned about the relationship between the black men. Oh, no. He said the man can have more. He can, if she over 35, he can have as many as she got to share him. Maybe it was just an obsession with men. I don't know. You got to share. Who on here gonna share a husband? Girl. I haven't cared enough about this thing to go over there and see what the manosphere and all them people think. I don't. They didn't fully accept him either. They talked behind his back, because behind his back, and not very far behind his back, they calling him all kind of sissies and stuff. You have to be. I mean, just talking to Kevin Samuels is very obvious. But not everybody ever comes to grips with who they are, right? Right. So a lot of people pretending to be something. Look at Andrew Caldwell. Andrew Caldwell still walking around with his furs and jewels, and Louis Vuitton slippers, girl. And he said he's straight. It's going to be a struggle apparently for him for the rest of his life. Hi, Joni. What you doing? What you doing, Screen? You got any Samuel's dogs? Mm-hmm. What y'all think? Baby, try to calm yourself. Calm yourself down. Sit down. They'll be gone in a minute, okay? Just hold on. Relax. His mother said he died. This was on NBC. Well, they're all reporting he's dead now. The mother said she found out on social media. Well, social media moved faster than the news, obviously. I mean, what was he still being? Was he still in the apartment when social media started reporting of his demise? So I can see how that could happen, unless he had somebody there to know that would care enough and notify them who knew the family. Otherwise, of course, I mean, unless they live with him, how would they know? The hospital would notify them, but social media was already on top of it. This thing here is what are the people have created? We created a monster. Right. But when I believe whatever lies after this life, I believe God, and he said he will wipe away all your sins and you are forgiven. Now, try to make sense with that. Well, what to do about the killers and the murderers and all these horrible people throughout history? Do they get to heaven too? We don't know. I don't know anything, honey. I know I trust God. I trust God. I am not afraid of death. I'm not scared of death. What I'm afraid of is being sick for years, being immobile for years, suffering for years. That is much worse fate to me than actual dying. So now, before right now, we don't want to encourage anybody that nobody wants to die. But I've always thought that having a heart attack was one of the best ways to go. Now, I've had relatives that have had heart attacks, no suffering, no thinking about it, no worrying about it, nobody crying. They're just here and gone. I don't think it's a bad way. I mean, how long does a heart attack last? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? 5 minutes? And then you're gone. I think it's a pretty decent way to go, because he was just making a video the day before that, right? That's why I think it might be some kind of drug-induced thing, because he was just live a few hours earlier. Right? Okay. Zion, pity at people marry people with children. Shell Whitfield. A lot of people want, they like families. They want a family. Particularly, they shooting blanks. They might want a family. You know, they like kids. They want to be a part of somebody's family. Not everybody's not good and everybody's not bad, honey. They put too much of this shit, what the black man thinks, what the black woman thinks. No, we all different kind of people. I would rather have a good man than somebody who wears good suits. Right? You really want to be with somebody based on how much money they make and how skinny they are. I mean, that's so superficial. And you need somebody who's going to love you. And I am telling you, I'm not Good, oh Wayne. Why you bringing up Neiman Marcus now, JJ? You being messy? I ain't dealing with no mean Neiman Marcus child. Neiman Marcus, that was 22 years old. Please. My grandfather married my grandmother when she already had 3 small children. I hear you, Z. My grandmama, she had 2 husbands, 2 men in her life. So half were one name and the other half with the other name, right? But when she married her second husband, because the first one had turned out to had some abuse issues, but she already had 6 kids when he married her. And then they went on and had 3 more kids. Mm-hmm. Gonna tell everybody not the same, honey. And Kevin Samuel, you can make no relationship work because you're so superficial. Don't know woman want to be bothered no man with all this damn dress up. We gotta play dress up every day, girl. Different watches and this, and gotta have a different bracelet for that, and a different ring for that. And don't forget the perfume. Don't forget the. Sorry, start off as showing people what cologne to wear, girl. I couldn't be bothered but know what they call a dainty man. You're putting too much emphasis on your looks. It's supposed to be my looks. You're supposed to be out there buying me diamond necklaces and things to make me look beautiful. You spend more time in the mirror than me. The superficial. I mean, women do all that kind of stuff. They always have, honey. But for a male, Now, as far as the image consultant, yeah, nothing wrong with dressing good and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if this dude from the project supposed to be such an expert. When he was on Tasha K's show, and he took she gave him a glass of wine, and he took a nice aroma, nice texture. Mm-hmm. I said, girl. And what built it in the projects did you learn that, nigga? Please, whatever, child. All the fakeness and phoniness, whatever. There are people in that business, you know. There are still fashion designers, girl. There's still people who create colognes and perfumes, and it's all marketing. It's all bullshit, child. You don't want to pick no mate because of that. You know, sometimes now the physical does initially attract people, but do you really want that superficial thing that you chose off of Instagram? Do you really want that to be the mother of your children? Are you going to leave that in charge of making sure there's a good meal on the table, child, for you and the family? There's more to life than just what you look like. He was immature, says S.M. Hurst. Get you a good man, honey. Man gonna bring you some flowers and rub your feet, girl, because he want to. People will sit up in his apartment, girl. All these suits, the lighting, the moving fixtures in there, changing the atmosphere. Then you got sculptures, a woman behind him, and all this. Oh, everything is fabulous. I'm a high value man. I'm saying you're not a high value man based on what you put on. That's not it. Mm-mm. You can go out there and steal. If you're a good booster, you can look just the same as them. But what do they got to do with you, who you are? Then he leaves this world without ever making a relationship work. So how's he the relationship guru? You married people twice, and apparently you had a girlfriend just recently, and you can never make it work for yourself. I'm not taking relationship advice from somebody who cannot make a relationship work for themselves, right? He wasn't fit for a good fit for a woman because he probably didn't belong there. Mm-hmm. Who is that? RJ Supreme? What's going on, RJ Supreme? Kaya, Denise Bright, Soul Sister #1 show, Marana Raider, and Nikki Balu. How y'all doing? You agree with me today, Miss Rita? Oh, that's nice. He said you need to earn at least $10,000 per month to even consider a high value man. If he's so goddamn high value, why you need $10,000 a month? Shit. If you high value, honey, I'm staying home making eggs and bacon and things, child. And you gonna share him. I guess they're quoting all of his last couple of videos, but he's been doing this shit for the last 3 years. So I guess he can be grateful that he had a little bit of money at the end of his life. He did at least experience having some money, because most of his life he was just showing other people how to spend their money. He's in service, shall we say. To live a life. He screamed gay. I agree with that, RJ Supreme. I'm sorry. I don't give a damn what nobody tell me, child. I've been in the room with a whole lot of gay in my life. I never even thought, until I heard him say out of his mouth that he wasn't gay. I was aghast. I said, what? I guess a gay man can talk about relationships. I mean, relationships, child. You can be a gay, you be a pastor, you can be all kind of stuff trying to be gay. It's just don't be out here lying, trying to be something that you're not. Now, he was appearing on all these Men-Affair type channels and whatever, and this is the way he was being accepted. Otherwise, they would assume that he was a homosexual, and they probably still do assume that. But he's one of us, right? A lot of lesbians in women's rights movements. They love women. They speak up for women. What's wrong with that? A lot of people be gold diggers. He was encouraging you to be a gold digger. Baby, hey, hey, Dee. I can't even control a relationship with a dog. How am I going to speak on everybody else's relationship? Sit down. Sit the bum. They're right there. Oh, shit. So you think he was just playing with women with the relationship thing? No, I think he found something that was marketable. Pixel King say, so you think he was just playing with women with the relationship thing? No, he was giving advice. Your psychiatrist can be gay. He still give you advice in your relationship, right? He just found something that worked. This stick worked. He followed Tommy Sotomayor. He said, oh, people really want to watch that. He refined his character of Tommy Sotomayor, and he made it work for himself. For the first time in his life, he actually was making money. Right? You got to give the people. Hey, Beefing 13. At the end of the day, relationship guru died with a stranger in this. She was probably paid for. They're saying now, why did the woman? They said a woman was with him. The woman saw he was apparently in the struggle. She called 911. Some say she stopped at the desk and asked for a defibrillator. I don't know why she would know about that, but and she left. Now, why would a woman call with a man who had just had a heart attack leave? There are a couple of things that comes to mind. First of all, if she was a prostitute, she would leave. Prostitutes, they always do that. They leave. They're not going to sit up here to answer a whole bunch of questions when they're engaged in a crime themselves. They generally speaking, if somebody dies, they will leave. Also, if you are doing drugs, you're not going to have any interaction with the police, right? If they were to come there and they were to drug test you or him, right? And you were in the room, you could end up on charges, right? So prostitutes will leave, and drug addicts or people who are using drugs will leave. And also, pay attention, married women will leave. They will definitely, married women will leave. They ain't got no choice. They cannot be under the spotlight, right? Because they sneaking and creeping their own damn self. Of course, a man would leave, but I think if it was a man, we would have known by now. And I do strongly believe in bisexual people. So just because he's laying on top of a woman, don't mean that's the only thing he's laying on top of. Or he could be in such denial and such self-loathing, self-hatred that he could only be with women, right? But he can't make it work. Why? Because he's not attracted to her, right? That's why y'all's hips and thighs drove him nuts. He couldn't stand it because he's not really attracted to a woman's body shape and all that, right? He wanted to be flat. And people, stop trying to be white. You're not white. Different races have different attributes, correct? Don't expect that this black women's body is supposed to look just like these flat-chested white women's bodies, right? They're attributes to different races of people. We tend to be more curvaceous, right? You ain't got to go dye your hair blonde. You ain't got to go put blue contacts in. You ain't got to try to be somebody. Just be the best you that you can be, right? We also have fabulous athletes that dominate pretty much every contact sport there is, right? There are things that are positive about all the different kind of races, things they specialize in. It says Jewish people make wonderful lawyers. We don't know, but we just know there's a lot of Jewish lawyers. Maybe because that's just their tradition to go to law school. We don't know, but we know different people can do different things well. I don't know why this man was obsessed with trying to make the women, black women, look like these other women in these other races, girl. If you go and date a Chinese woman, you know what I've noticed about Chinese women? They're small people. They're just all small, right? It's nothing unusual about that. So how are you going to go out there and compare a Chinese person with a black person? I'm sure they consider us all Godzilla. Godzilla! Godzilla! Because they're all tiny people. Mexican people, don't take it personally, short and kind of stout. The men kind of short and stout. It's just a body type. And no one's better than the other one, right? So I guess they'll be pulling up what the woman looked like and all that, what color she was and all that kind of stuff, you know. She was a nurse. Girl, what's she doing there with Kevin Samuels, the nurse? She could have had a part-time job. Oh, we don't know. I guess more will come out. Okay. She was a nurse. If she was a nurse, she shouldn't be leaving him in cardiac arrest, right? You would think that. But like I said, okay, even if she isn't a prostitute, what if she's just doing drugs with him and they done did something that's been laced with something and he's died? You still leave. If you are a married woman, do y'all think that a married woman who is sneaking and creeping is going to be caught in a hotel, an apartment building of some other man, a misogynistic man like Kevin Samuels' child, that's going to be all over the internet? You think she wouldn't leave? She did what she could do. Get the ambulance there. Isn't 911 supposed to respond within 3 or 4 minutes or some shit like that? I don't know. We got to wait for more of that story, child. She is a nurse. It's what's being reported. They all report something different, though. Okay, so they're saying she's a drug addict too because she was apparently there doing it with him. He wouldn't be doing drugs by himself, would he? We don't know how much validity there is to this woman's background and career. If she left, why they know so much about her now, right? So I'm not going to dig real deep into this because of my disdain for that man. Most of my commentary will probably be negative. I didn't like him in the flesh, so I don't got too much to say about his legacy. So we ain't gonna report on too much. But you got to report on me. It's a huge story. Escort. Now, Beef in 13 says escort. So she's part-time nurse and part-time escort. All right. She's like, oh, she got streams of income. Many reports are saying she just met him the night before. So why you in the bed with this woman, Kevin Samuel, you met the night before, right? There's another story. So we have to let it all iron out, people. We said that last night. We said, well, by the morning we'll know if it's true or not. And the morning has come, and it has been verified by many sources that it is true, including his own mother, that he has died, right? In the next couple of days, they'll go in digging into this woman's life or whatever. If she is even if she even give me comments, whatever. And we'll find out more about the story. Was it a drug overdose? Was it fentanyl? Excuse me. Hey, Didi, Bonnie. Didi, booty. Come over here. Get it bum over here. Get it bum over here. There, right here. Ooh, your dirty hooker's here. Okay. Yeah, she was a nurse. Oh, you ain't gonna defend the hookers? Okay. By calling her whatever, at this point, we don't even know who this woman is. So we're not really coming for her. She's a grown woman. She has a right to go and have one night stands if she wants to. But if she just met him the night before, I don't know that you're supposed to be up here laying up in bed with him, girl. You know he's a misogynist. He believed in a man and a woman. If I was your woman and you were my man. The report states she was a nurse. Okay. But she couldn't save him. She needed to get her a defibrillator. But he was reported dead on arrival, Queen J. Is that what it's saying? Well, I don't know how important what she did for a living. I mean, so what? She's a nurse. Mm-hmm. That don't mean you can't do cocaine. I wouldn't think that would be the kind of woman to be up in some man's room the next day after she met him doing cocaine. Didn't sound right. But I don't know. I love nursing as a profession. Mm-hmm. Is there any reports that she left him there, and when the people arrived, she was no longer there? If so, why are we getting so much information about her if she has went out of her way to remain incognito? Hi, 420 King. You say nurse by day, escort by night. Sounds like somebody we know. I'm just saying, I'm not being messy like Jay Wilson and reporting on that boy has to pay $3,300. It's not me. I'm just saying, we have one of those over here. Nurse by day, escort by night. ZX. No, what's his name? ZT. Mm-hmm. ZT, come out and give testimony. Say, yes, it can happen. Hey, Charles Dawson, you multitasking? Mm-hmm. Good to see. Queenie, please have mercy, loving kindness. Be quiet. Some nurses have the best. Oh, I guess she would have the best drugs. But Tanya, I don't think her drugs should not be laced with no damn fentanyl, though. I would think if she's getting pharmaceutical grade, she shouldn't be having no fentanyl in it, girl. I don't know what this fascination with fentanyl is. Does it have a different effect that makes it more sellable? There was no fentanyl around when I was doing drugs. Thank God. Right. Because a lot of times that shit passes through more than one person's hand. It might be cut by 2 or 3 different things. You don't know what the hell's in there. Not really. Not street drugs. God made us all perfect. Our features are only enhancements to help us. Baby, I had some of the worst experience with these beautiful people. These beautiful niggas, excuse me. These beautiful gentlemen that I've been with down through the years, the ones that were very good looking were the boringest people. I mean, generally, they want you to sit there and admire their ass. I don't want to admire you, motherfucker. I'm trying to get off just like you are, you know. So I don't think that's necessarily the basic requirement to be in relationship with somebody over the long haul. You know, God put love in this world, right? There's going to be an attraction there. There's going to be a chemistry there. When you look at him, he looks at you or she looks at you, and there's something there, something unexplainable, baby. You can't even go to bed without thinking about it. Oh, that thing, that unseen thing, honey. Not girl, just something you can go buy in Hermes. Ooh, put on that color. Hermes. Ooh, I got several bottles of Hermes. He had a whole lineup, a whole desk full of different colognes and all that. Okay. Y'all want to be bothered with a man like that, honey? I just can't imagine too many women want to be bothered with all that, child. I mean, bad enough she got all of her cosmetics there. She got to move all her stuff to the side, girl, so he can have all his shit in the bathroom, girl. All his hair straighteners and things. I've said it 100 times. A man don't got to do that much, job. He ain't got to do that much. All he got to do is make sure his ass is clean. His ass is clean and his beard is trimmed. This new trend now, everybody wearing beards. I hate it. It's one thing if you have a beard. Some people, I can't never grow no beard. It's all spotty, you know. But some people, if you're gonna have a beard, it should be well groomed. Now he was a master of that kind of stuff with his shadow of a beard kind of thing, that kind of look. Grooming yourself, but that doesn't take no image consultant to do that, girl. You know, you spend a couple of hours in the mirror and figure out how to shave yourself. But this new look, but everybody, even including some of these big actors, they just have straggly beards just growing, just hair, let it grow natural. It's disgusting to me. I like a smooth baby. But a man ain't got to do all that much. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't be your primary conversation. Is putting on all this costume shit, child. Go and what do you do for a living? Where do you make your money? What do you? We're more concerned with that than what kind of perfume you have on. I couldn't even lay down with nobody with the perfume on, girl. It's like I'm in a Bardolo or something. Bordello. I said, what's that behind your ears, dear? Rosemary. It's rosemary. It's rose from Hermes. When you go to the bathhouse, they put right there in big old letters, girl. No sense. Fragrant free zone. A lot of places are like that, y'all. We don't be smelling you, girl. We got allergies in here. Let me see. Hair straightened. Child, back in the day, you gotta love YouTube. Back in the day, honey, my stepfather was like that. He had more hair curlers and shit and more primping than my mama did. They used to all have these what they call DAs and things, right? So we ain't talking about the women. We talk about the menses. The black menses used to wear a process. They call it a process, a DA, a Lord Jesus. No offense, Father. That's what they call a certain hairstyle. They've been through it with the hairstyles and things. Process. Another two were saying that Kevin Samuels was murdered. Kevin Samuels was murdered. Oh my God. Why do these bloggers, they report bullshit because it gets a click in the view. That's all it is, child. Clickbait. That's what it is, Charles Dawson. I've seen some strange headlines myself. This whole fentanyl thing, Mike. Oh, how do they know that already? They ain't even tested a man yet. Beautiful people, honey. A lot of times, beautiful people, they want to be kept, but they ain't gonna be beautiful forever. Now, I used to, admire beauty when I was a younger person myself. I didn't realize that it all falls, baby. Unless you're an alien or something, it all changes. So if you're talking about a long-term relationship, Kevin Samuel, what you gonna have these people being primped for the rest of their damn life? All pulled up, girl, titties sticking straight out. No, because you're so shallow. The moment she starts showing a wrinkle or two, you're gonna divorce her ass and move on to something else that is pretty. It's superficial nonsense, honey. That's what you're going. That's what you laying up with this woman you just met a day before, right? Anybody ain't gonna do that. But that ain't got nothing to do with no relationship. Not no real one, honey. You got to grow together and grow bad together. Them kinds is always trading their wives in. They'll use this one for 10 years, use up her youth. So now nobody, according to him, nobody wants her ass. Now he gonna get him another one and use her up. They just keep trading up, you know. You know, a doctor who loves his powdered donuts, he better not be cutting on my ass. Baby. Somebody up in the mirror all day. Girl, please. Oh my God. Tanya, fentanyl is scary. Here in Cali, it's being laced with weed. They putting it in the weed. Oh my God. There's some people who are strung out on fentanyl. They shoot it up, I guess. I'm sticking to edibles and dispensaries. Right. So you ain't gotta be buying street drugs no more, at least if you're just smoking weed. You can go to the dispensary. I don't do drugs, so I ain't gotta worry about none of it. But yeah, I could possibly have run into that. Because I could say you don't, if the thing is not coming directly from the source, it could be cut several times before you can get a hold to it with various different things. It breaks my heart to see these young people out here just tore up on drugs, can't even look up. It's heartbreaking. A lot of it is youthful though, so a lot of them will come out of that, hopefully. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he preferred so-called high-value white women. Well, I guess a high-value black woman is supposed to look like a high-value white woman. They're supposed to be the same. Because these women that they're showing him with now, they don't look like no black women. Maybe they got a little bit in them, you know. Thank you, Elaine. Don't forget to get Murder in the Beef Sector. As soon as I get through with this, I'm going to go work on a book 2. Mm-hmm. It won't be called book 2. It'll have a name, but it's also going to be a Murder in the Beef Sector trilogy. So it'll be 3 books. Mm-hmm. You know, some kind of way we got to work whatever's in the news into the story as well to keep it current. Oh, you live in Indy? Urban Wire Media Network? Hello. Hi. Say hello to Indy for me. You might know some of my relatives. We got a lot of them. A lot of them who I don't even know. I've been away so long. I've been away from Indianapolis for 40 years. Kevin Samuels, 1 million subs are up for grabs. Well, that's what that dude, what's the one just separated from Tasha K? Yeah, he's concerned with them subs. What's his name? Who's the guy? He was a mentee of Tasha K. I forget his name. Kind of chunky looking, the beard guy. Anyway, he immediately got on the subs. Who's gonna get all those subs? A lot of them will just go back to Tommy Sotomayor. That's where they came from anyway. I just hope no women are over there listening to Tommy Sotomayor, but they're basically the same kind of character. They both got art. They just go whatever will bring them views. That's what it is, honey. So as long as you support that bullshit, they're gonna keep on. Storm Monroe, thank you, Miss Z. Storm Monroe was over there talking all crazy. The moment he heard about it, he started talking about them who gonna get those views. I have a strong suspicion none of them will be coming over here. Did he ever speak about high value women, or is always high value? The man was always high value. Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy. Well, I guess skinny don't mean everything. If it was drugs, that would explain why you're able to stay thin. But some people they're just thin. We don't know why he just hates everything except for thin. He's always been. You have how tightly them suits fit and all that kind of shit, child. That's not everybody's body. That don't mean that they're lesser people because of that. Right. You go up there and measure Kamala Harris's waist. Judge them by the content of their character, not the size of their thighs. A lot of men like big thighs, honey. No, they like that fuller figure because they're attracted to a woman's body, a woman's shape, the curves. They like all that, honey. It is a natural thing for them. You're trying to make them be something that they're not, Kevin Samuel, or at least you were. I have to admit, though, I was surprised. I thought it was a hoax because, I mean, 56 is young shit. And then when you're a man of a certain age, when they die like that, you be wondering about your own goddamn self. Well, how much longer I got, honey? 56. That means I'm 8 years older than that dude, with all kinds of extreme health issues through the years. And yet here I am. And yet I rise, is what Jay Will said. A nigga memorized one poem in his whole life, girl. Did y'all see Jay Wilson do it here? Yet I rise. He's Maya Angelou. Do you not judge the curves in my sack? He memorized one play. He probably was in some damn church play somewhere, child. And every time he get an opportunity, he goes and recites Maya Angelou play. More than likely, it's something he had to do for a class in school or something, child. Mm-hmm. Hey, Miss Motown. How you doing? You're driving and listening? Miss Motown's a working woman. Uh-huh. What kills me is he was raised by a woman. He was not only birthed by a woman, but when these niggas take off, I mean, who's doing all the grunt work of raising y'all badass? Right? He had to be. If he was in the projects, that means there was no man there. And that's the very ones that he resents. Like I said, I believe he probably resents them because women were talking so bad about these bad relationships they had, which had landed them by themselves, girl. A lot of times, all these abusive ass men, nobody ever want to talk. Oh, that's not black men would never hit a woman. Right. So keep on pretending. They were probably very angry, and then he was sitting up under them as a male, and he started getting resentments. We ain't saying hate on the brothers. We're just saying, help you. Well, we can't help you. We can't move forward until we can tell the truth. There is no movement without truth. You like to smoke a good old fashioned joint, Charles Dawson? I wish I could smoke. I can't do nothing. The risk is too high. But I ain't got no problem with people that smoke joints, honey, and can drink and without being drunks. That's great. The majority of people can drink without being drunk. That's why they sell alcohol. You can just stay on weed. That's great. I just say don't stay away from hard drugs. That's my thing. Stay away from meth. I know that for sure. And stay away from the heroin. Absolutely, you'll be dead as a doornail. Thank you, Tanya. Uncle Tim. There was a camera slip with a man in his bed last year. What? Wait a minute. Hold the hell on. There was a camera slip with a man in his bed last year. That's when I started to think he was DL. He on the down low. Oh, Lord. You got to watch them cameras, baby. Thank you for super chat. I appreciate you. Also, he has been caught. According to him, though, he's totally straight. But he will admit, he admits now that he's had to explain his sexuality since he was a child. He's always appeared to be a homosexual man. Now, where he would pick up all the mannerism, where he would pick up all of this obsession with this shallow ass stuff. I mean, gay men have always been like that. We always know what the latest fashions are and all that. Well, them, younger people. But we don't too much see that on a straight male. I imagine there's always been tailors, though, and people who is their job in men's fashion, stuff like that. This is what he carried. We're just seeing the involvement of a department store person on social media. He's taking whatever his skills were in department stores, selling cologne, selling things, and just brought it over here and added that with his. Now he become the expert on relationship, even though he can't maintain a relationship himself. It could be just judging by the outside because he's trying to be somebody that he is not. But the women bought it. They made him number one. They made him huge. Well, I don't know about number one, but 1.4 million subscribers is pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Oh, the Tamara slip is on YouTube. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's it called, girl? Camera. I'll be able to confirm. I'll stop calling that man gay if I ain't seen it. If I seen it, then I can say, okay. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. Hell, I'm gay. I love it. It's just when you're miserable and you're pretending, you're trying to force it. If it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. Because that's the way you want it. Doesn't mean it will be so. If it don't fit, don't force it. He's trying to force it. He's trying to make himself what he wants to be. The women did not buy that. Which one? I haven't heard what his supporters say. Were you a police informant when you were in Wasala? Hell, I ain't never talked to the police. They ain't never been my friends. Rita, I was on the other side of the law. And like Jay Wilson say, the law is for the lawless. No, I ain't never believed in snitching or telling shit. Not if you're in that life. If you're a civilian, somebody hurts your car or hurts your house, call them. You paying taxes, so call them. But if you're in that life, making your money out of the same game, I never did it. I have never did it. Has it ever been done to me? Absolutely. There are many happy single people over 55. Absolutely, honey. A lot of these women would like to get out from up under some motherfucker. Right? He act like every woman, all she wants, all she dreams about is to be married to one of your punk asses. That is not necessarily so. If you have a good relationship, a loving relationship, then it's great. But the last thing in the world I would want to be as an older person is in a relationship that it makes me miserable and unhappy. Because he got a nice suit on and the perfume. I don't give a damn how much money they make. If they make me miserable, I don't want to be with them. And the older you get, the harder it gets, the more you resist. You don't want to be bothered with some people. Honey, don't nobody want that same stress that you have when you're in love and you in your 20s and 30s, child. And you find out, oh, he cheated. He cheated on me. You cheated. Remember they had the show called Cheaters and all this shit, girl. All these hearts being broken up. At some point, you really don't want the stress of being in a bad relationship. Now, a good relationship, you're going to have to find that out, Sometimes you find it out about some people are just lucky. My family, my sister, or one of my sisters at least, she met her husband in her junior year of high school, and they are still together, and they are still happy. They just appear to be happy people, and it's been over 40-something years, right? Not everybody gets that opportunity. Sometimes you marry one and you find out all he wants to do is watch video games, girl. But you didn't find that out until you have married this to his ass for 3 years and said, you still sitting down? You don't know about an abuser. He's going to hide that, girl, until your emotions get up. Then you find out you done married some goddamn monster who wants to beat you up, right? Or you marry somebody when you were young and you find out that they are womanizers. They're only want to make love with you. They want to make love with everybody in the neighborhood, including your girlfriends. Happens all the time. And when you marry very young, which he suggests everybody get young, married at 20 years old, I guess. When you get married, when you're very young, you might find out that you really don't have anything in common. So it might be better for you to marry when you're past 35. That, from what I understand, a lot of second marriages work better than the first ones did, girl, when they're in that golden time, as he says. high value. I just that whole damn statement just pisses me off. High value. Here she is working. She's working 2 jobs, girl, raising 3 kids, putting the food on the table. She bringing home the bacon and serving it up in the pan, and then he is the high value. You supposed to work. What are you doing to please that man? That high value. You ain't worthy. You ain't worth. What else I got to do, nigga? What else I got to do to be worthy? I got to try to get off this N word. Believe it or not, when I came to YouTube, I never used the N word. I never used it. It was one of my things. I don't use that word. I wasn't on social media. I mean, I wasn't here. So that's all slowly changed. We got to try to change it back. Okay. You talking to Stevie J? Okay. I haven't been told that, but I get compared to Kenny Lattimore. Kenny Lattimore all the time. Charles Dawson, you a handsome fella. I know that. I don't know what Kenny Lattimore looks like. You still having fun, Tanya? Take your time, girl. You don't know what the hell you're going to pull up. You want to be with somebody, you got to be worried about where they at all the damn time, girl. Miserable. You don't like him no more. He don't like you. You know, you were kids. And this motherfucker said that you are useless after 35 years old. You're leftovers. That's something wrong with you. That's what he said. Those are his words and not mine. He said that if you are 35 years old, there's something wrong with you. Maybe you've been educating yourself, child. Maybe you've been raising your children without the drama of somebody who is not worthy. Mm-hmm. Elnor, Mr. Tim, have you been watching the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? No, it takes too much time. I like the results. I'll speak on things when they've been resolved, somebody's won or lost. But as far as sitting in a courtroom all day, watching that stuff sucked you in. Ever since the OJ trial, I've learned no. I'm not gonna sit up there like watching paint dry. I love him as an actor, Johnny Depp. So we hope for the best for them. I think that he's basically looking for public apologies, because I don't think she has no, what is it, $50 million? Might as well be $100 million. You know, there's a good chance that even if he wins, he won't get much money. There are YouTube tutorials on here saying that he has lost most of his money anyway. So he's broke, she's broke, you know. She's an older actress now. It's not likely she's going to make any big money for him to collect. But no, I haven't been following it blow by blow. This trial is horrific. Well, somebody's watching it. Nikki Ballou is watching it. Mm-hmm. I think if I would have started right from the beginning, maybe I could have got it. You know, so you can spend an hour doing stuff. But if I don't get them from the very beginning, no, I don't try to get in there. Amber doesn't seem likable. No, hell no, you shitting all in the bed, girl. Whatever. I just get little bits and pieces here and there, girl. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. So thanks for coming in. We're not going to be pressing on this story very much. Kevin Samuels was not a part of the beef sector. He was just a YouTuber. So I really barely know anything about him. And I think it will be interesting to find out how he died and why he died, because I think that will be interesting for the public to know what to avoid. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Happy Friday. Will it be murderous?